Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about the example that we briefly talked about in the lecture, specifically about where we might have come in, and I apologise the sound isn't brilliant, but hopefully it's at least an improvement on the old video. Okay, so you're developing a student record system, and you go and talk to their customer, and they say lecturers need to be able to register students for courses, and you investigate it with them a bit more, and they say, well, there should be a student details page. So you storyboard this, you say, let's have ourselves a student detail page, and on the student details page there's some details of the student, and there's an add course button, they say. Okay, so here's your add course button, and when the lecturer who is going to interact with the system presses the add course button, it takes them to a new page, and the new page is going to give them a list of courses, all the possible courses for this student, and when they select one of the courses, they can then press the register button, and pressing the register button, they say, registers this student for this course. Okay, you say, fine, we can do that. Were this simple in Euclid? And you decide to represent this in summary form as a use case diagram. Okay, and we know how to do that. You're going to have just one actor, which is going to be the lecturer, capital L lecturer, because this is a classifier, remember, actor is a classifier in UML, and one use case, which is going to be, register student. Okay, and that actor is involved in that use case. That's all very well. So lecturers, individual lecturers, can participate in individual scenarios that form part of that use case. So this is an association between the actor and the use case, just like you might see an association in a class diagram between two classes. Okay, and you use the mock-up screens as a guide for what's going on, and you go away and you write some text for this use case to explain exactly what's supposed to happen in both the sunny day case and any cases where things might go wrong in the register student case. And at the same time, you're going to develop a first draft domain model. And so you say, well, what domain concepts do we know about? Well, we know there's going to be a concept of course, so we're probably going to have a domain class course in our system. And we also know that there's going to be a concept student, so that's going to be another of our domain classes. And we also seem to have a concept of a course list. And so I'm going to put that in as a separate domain concept. You might ask yourself, do we actually need a course list class, or will it be enough to use a standard Java, say, collection of courses? But then you probably say, well, there's probably some functionality in there to determine which are the relevant courses for a given student, so let's stick it in the domain model, and we can always take it out if it turns out not to be right. So what have we got? We're going to have an aggregation between our course list and our courses, and an association between courses and students to represent that a given student might be on a different course. And depending on what happens when we think about the course list more, we might end up with an association between course list and student that is, available courses or something like that. But all of this detail can be worked out as we learn more about the system. So that's our initial domain model, and that's very, very simple for this particular case.